Hey everyone, and welcome to SkillCapped. My name is Dr. Zora, and today we're going to be reviewing secret box jumps that you can do on every map of Valorant. This is an advanced technique that will require extensive practice, but will allow you to get onto spots that you wouldn't normally be able to get onto with the normal jump. These sneaky positions will then allow you to get surprise picks and kills onto enemies, and therefore provide you with an extra tool to advance your Valorant play. Without further ado, let's get into the video. If you want to take your game to the next level and play like the pros, then go to skillcapped.com to unlock our hyper improvement system that will teach you everything you need to blast through the rankings in Valorant. The link will be provided in the description below. And before we get into the content, we have our question of the day for you all. What are your thoughts on the new Agent Astra? Astra is a controller with a very flashy ability kit that has definitely caught people's attention, so let us know in the comments below on your initial impressions. So what is this box jump and how do we do it? First up, we're going to review the box jump that started it all, and that is jumping onto the box on the middle of split. At first glance, this box seems way too high for anyone to get through, but there's actually a small ledge on the right side of the stairs where you can get a slight vertical boost. To perform this jump, you're going to have to time your jump at this point, and here's how to do the box jump to get yourself on top of this box. The method is very simple, however the timing is what makes the jump extremely tricky. What you're going to do is run toward the box and then hit crouch and jump together when you're on the small ledge. When you hit the peak point of the jump and make contact with the box, you're going to release crouch, which will give you a small vertical boost and get you on top of the box. This is the bread and butter way to perform this on the boost spots that we're going to talk about in this video. This box jump is extremely useful, particularly on this middle box on split, because Sage players tend to wall off middle and then retreat to another area of the map if there isn't any noise being made in middle. When that happens, you can perform this jump to sneak your way past the wall. It's important to note that you will make noise when you drop off this box, but players tend to ignore it because they're confident that you shouldn't be able to bypass the wall. This allows you to sneak by and flank players in heaven, or even sneak your way through vents to get a flank at 8 towers. Now that we have the fundamentals down, we're going to move on to Icebox, which has some pretty unique jump spots on the A site. The first spot is on top of the container outside defender spawn. To perform this jump, you're going to go up the ropes to the middle container, and the technique is going to be just the same. Take out your knife and full sprint towards the container. At the very edge of the container, you're going to crouch jump and then release crouch at impact to get yourself onto this spot. You can get into this position without using the crouch jump technique, however this makes the timing a lot easier to do. Playing in this position is fantastic for getting a surprise angle onto players that are pushing onto the A site. You can choose to peek out A as well, however these shots can be tricky to hit long range and gives you less of an advantage, and if you get picked off, it allows the attackers to push quickly before your team can rotate. Because of this, we recommend playing back and peeking during the attacker's actual push. There's also a second jump on the left container on the A site that allows you to get some early picks. This requires a different technique that is also simple to do but difficult to time. You're going to get back up to the middle container and align yourself with the second vertical line on the wall. From there, place your crosshair on the top right corner of the container and then raise it up to the middle line as shown. Once you have achieved this, you're going to run towards the container and jump. At the peak of the jump, you're going to attach yourself to the rope and quickly jump off of it. This gives you additional leverage that allows you to get onto the top of the left container. The timing for attaching to the rope and jumping off is going to have to be very quick to execute this, but with practice it will become much easier for you to perform. This position tends to surprise players and allow you to get free picks, especially with the operator. Moving on, we're going into a fantastic boost that you can do on A short with Jet using the box jump technique. This is a great off angle, particularly with the operator, where you can again get a surprise peek and get out safely. To perform this jump, you're going to get on top of these small boxes. From there, you're going to head towards the bottom section of this truck, crouch jump and glide over to this area, and at impact, you're going to release crouch to get on top of the truck. From there, you're going to do the same crouch jump and release to get on the very top of the truck. Once you have achieved this position, simply jump and glide over to the short A boost and you're good to go without having to use any abilities. From this position, you can also glide over to the boxes at pocket or to triple to get other surprise angles against the attackers. These are riskier positions to get out of, so we recommend using them occasionally but not consistently during your games compared to the normal boost. Getting into Haven now, there are two boost spots that you can do on the map, however they can only be done with Jet. The first is on the A site on the middle boxes. There appears to be a sort of glitch on one of the sides where if you go onto the bottom right corner and shift walk slowly to the left, your character is actually going to elevate up to about 1/3 of the box's horizontal distance. We found that the peak vertical distance that you can achieve tends to be when you're able to just see a small piece of the double boxes outside of A short. Once you hit this position, simply crouch jump and release crouch at the peak of the jump. Continue holding space to glide and you'll eventually clip up to the top of the boxes. This jump is doable with the other agents, however it is extremely difficult to perform, which is why we recommend using Jet to make things easier. This position is also more versatile with Jet, as you can also glide over to the other various boxes on the site, therefore giving you other angles to work with, while avoiding having to use any abilities to get up there. This second boost is going to be on top of the container on the middle of the C site. This one is mechanically the most challenging of the box jumps in this series, however it is incredibly rewarding as it allows you to get another off angle position without expending any abilities. To perform this jump, you're going to get on top of the smaller box on site. From there you're going to look towards logs and run towards it. From there you're going to crouch jump but also strafe to the left after jumping to go towards the outside edge of the containers. Let go of crouch at impact like usual and then hold jump to glide and eventually you'll clip up to the top. This looks pretty difficult at first, but there is some leeway with it that makes it easier. If you get very close and fail to get on top of the container with this technique, you can hold your glide and spam crouch to incrementally clip onto the container, and this will also eventually allow you to achieve the boost. This position is fantastic with an operator to pick off players long range at C long, and along with that you can also glide over to the double boxes on the back of site to switch things up and get another surprise angle pick onto C long in a later round. Those are all the box jumps that we have, but we do have a bonus jump on Ascent that several players are still not aware of. You can actually jump on top of generator onto the A site without any technique to it. Simply run towards generator from heaven and then do a normal jump. Again, this is another great off angle position that can catch players by surprise, and you can also easily back out of that position afterwards if you stay on the back of the generator. Alright, so let us know in the comment section below on what your favorite box jump was, but also let us know what your thoughts are on the new agent Astra. And while you're down there, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get more premium guides just like this one with one goal in mind: helping you become a better player. We here at SkillCapped want to thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next. I'm Dr. Zora, and good luck out there.